All right, today we're going to dive into a tool that can fundamentally change how you learn about, well, pretty much anything. It's a framework designed to take you way beyond just scratching the surface and get you into a true, lasting understanding of a topic.
You know the feeling, right? We've all been there. You read an article, you watch a documentary, and for a minute you feel like, okay, I got this. But then a day later, poof, it's just gone. In this age of just endless information, it's so easy to skim the surface without ever really getting it.
But what if there was a way to beat that? What if you had a clear guide, a map really, that could help you navigate from that shallow scan to a deep, lasting comprehension of pretty much any topic you wanted?
Well, that's exactly what we're going to explore. And it's not just a metaphor. It's a real, structured framework for thinking, and it's called the understanding map.
And there it is. This is the whole thing, the entire framework, in one shot. It was actually developed by Project Zero at Harvard's Graduate School of Education, so you know it's got some serious thought behind it. But it's more than just a cool diagram. It's a set of really deliberate thinking moves designed to guide you toward a genuine insight.
So, let's treat this as our own little expedition. We're going to travel around this map together, stopping at each of its 8 key points to see exactly how this whole thing works. Sound good? Let's get started.
Every journey has to start somewhere, and for this map, that means starting with 2 really fundamental actions. Just observing what's right in front of you, and then allowing yourself to be curious. This is where we gather all our raw materials for understanding.
So the very first move is super simple, but it is absolutely critical. It's all about looking closely and just describing what you see. No judgment, no interpretation, not yet, just the objective facts. So you start by asking yourself this simple question: what do I see and notice? It doesn't matter if you're looking at a piece of art, a data chart, or a news article. You start with the absolute basics. What are the component parts? What is objectively, undeniably there? Okay, so from that pure observation, we move into wondering. Once you've laid out what's there, your mind naturally starts asking questions. This move is all about leaning into that curiosity because, great understanding never starts with answers. It always starts with great questions.
So, what are you curious about here? What's puzzling you? What seems kind of strange or maybe a little out of place? This is where the real investigation kicks off.
Okay, so we've observed and we've wondered. Now our journey on the map is going to take us below the surface. It's time to start making sense of what we've seen. The next move is to build an explanation. Based on everything you've noticed so far, you start to form an initial theory or a hypothesis about what's really happening. And this brings us to that key question: what's really going on here? This is basically an invitation to interpret the facts you've gathered. It's your first attempt to say, okay, based on what I see, I think this might be happening because. You can think of it as your first draft of understanding. Of course, a first explanation is almost never the whole story. Real understanding means recognizing that things are usually messy and nuanced and complicated. So the next move is to actively go looking for that complexity. And this leads to such a powerful question: what lies beneath the surface? This really challenges you to look for tensions, for contradictions, and for all those hidden details you might have missed at first. It's all about actively resisting that simple, easy answer.
So far, we've mostly focused on our own observations and our own analysis. But now, the map guides us to expand our view. It's time to broaden our horizons and make our thinking even stronger.
Now this next move is huge. A deep understanding is never built in a vacuum, right? You have to actively seek out other perspectives and really try to see the topic through different eyes.
So we have to ask ourselves, what's another angle on this? How would someone with a totally different background see this? What are the counterarguments? This move builds intellectual empathy, and it protects us from our own biases.
Now, along with considering other viewpoints, you also have to reason with evidence. It's not enough to just have a theory. You've got to be able to back it up. This move is all about supporting your claims with facts, data, and logical arguments.
And this simple question, why do you think so, is the engine of all good reasoning. Every time you make a claim, you should be able to answer it. It forces you to connect your ideas back to something solid, creating a firm foundation for your understanding.
All right, we're on the final leg of our expedition. We've gathered information from all these different angles, we've backed it up with evidence. Now it's time to pull it all together and find the absolute heart of the matter.
See, information is most powerful when it's not isolated. That's why this next move is to make connections. This is all about weaving your new understanding into the web of what you already know, building bridges between this new topic and your existing knowledge. By asking, how does this fit with what I already know? You're not just memorizing a new fact, you're truly integrating it. Does this confirm something you already believed? Does it totally challenge it? This process is what makes learning actually stick.
And here we are, our final destination, capturing the heart of the topic. After all this work, you can now ask the ultimate question from the map. What's at the core of this? This is about distilling everything, all of it, down to its essential message. The single big idea or the main takeaway.
So let's just quickly recap our journey around the map. We started by simply describing what was there and wondering about it. Then we dug deeper, building an explanation and uncovering the complexity hidden beneath the surface. We expanded our view by considering other angles and reasoning with evidence. And finally, we pulled it all together by making connections and forming a final conclusion. It's a really powerful, repeatable cycle for genuine understanding.
And that brings us to the end of our little tour of the understanding map. This tool is now yours to use. So I guess the only question left is, where are you going to take it first? What fascinating, complex topic would you choose to truly, deeply understand?